It's just Bruce. He don't bite. Hello.
Hey folks, hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm going to do a video for you tonight about something personal, actually. I worked all week. I had a busy week in the shop here. I made the two big orders going to Canada and one going to Germany, and I've been busy as heck. Finally got it done, and I finally did something I haven't done in about 3 years, and that is clean my shop. And you see the shop in the background all the time. This isn't green screen. This is my actual shop. And let me just take a step aside so you can actually see the glory that is my shop. Somebody had made a comment on one of my videos before about how organized it is. And I had to laugh because there is no organization here. I just happen to know where everything is because I'm the only one that works here at Jenner Custom Toys. But yeah, after 3 years, I finally cleaned it top to bottom. You're seeing one angle of it. Maybe I'll throw a picture up if I remember. I'll throw a picture up of what the desk actually looks like, which I'm sitting at. But yeah, it took me a couple hours to clean it. Everything's nice and neat, and everything's where it belongs. I love being OCD, and I love, yeah, I'm just happy. I'm happy. But that's not what we're talking about tonight. What I'd like to talk about tonight, and I'm going to try to keep this video as quick as possible. Yeah, I'm all hopped up on Red Bull. Is why I started restoring. I mean, what got me started, and especially what got me started on the videos. I started doing the videos about 6-7 years ago on this channel. Before that, I had another YouTube channel whenever I was DJing, doing stand-up comedy, and it was a completely different channel. That channel's done. I don't do that anymore. It's all I'm going to say, Cliff's Notes, is when I was a stand-up comedian, we had a lot of fun back then. But times have changed, and my kind of humor for stand-up comedy just doesn't work, so I got out of it. So anyway, I got back into restoring stuff. I gotta say, I started restoring stuff because of my father. My father taught me how to work with wood. He liked to tinker with things, and then he'd break it, and I'd end up fixing it. So at an early age, I just was good at tinkering around and fixing things. And that's literally how it started. I mean, I have funny stories I could tell you, but I don't want to make this an hour-long video. Well, my dad, he passed away in 2002, and he was 69 years old. And, you know, I miss my dad. And when he did die, I didn't really get anything. Everything went to my mom, of course, because she was still alive. My sister pretty much, I'll just say, she conned her out of everything. I got left with just a little bit. And that's fine. I didn't really want anything anyway. I didn't expect any money. So he left me this clock right here. Now, where this clock came from was my dad worked for a large company. He was head of cost accounting, and he got basically forced to retire in 1996 when he was 63 years old. Basically because technology took over, and he didn't have the adequate. He was an educated guy. I don't want to say adequate. I guess his education was obsolete. That's a good way to say it. So, and he was at that company since 1953. So 1953 to 1996 is how long he worked at that company. And this is what they gave him. It's a nice clock, but, you know, that's a lot of years. It's kind of chintzy. But anyway, I got it when he passed away. Now, as you can see, I switched angles on the camera. I'm using the old school camera, the one I started with whenever I started posting restoration videos of Star Wars toys and whatever else I put on this channel before. I don't just restore Star Wars toys. This clock sat in a closet for quite a few years until my wife and I bought this house. And this, I can honestly say, is the first restoration I've ever done before I started the channel. I tore it apart, had to fix it, still working to this day. In fact, tonight was a cleaning night. If you saw the other day, I do cleaning nights with my toys. If you've also seen older videos at this angle using the old school camera like I'm using right now, you'll see that it hangs right over here. That's its special place. Because like I said, this is my shop, and this is where I keep all my stuff. I have 3 shops. This is my main shop where I do most of my work here at my desk. And that camera, or I'm sorry, that clock holds a special place in my heart. I think of my dad. The other thing that I got when he passed away was this tape measure. The same exact one he taught me how to measure with when we did woodworking together. and I use it all the time. If I'm having a problem, I'm like, come on, Dad, help me. I'll grab it, measure it out, whatever. And you know what? Those projects always turn out perfect. I know it sounds a little bit silly, but you know, you got to remember lost loved ones. I don't know what I want to say. You have to remember lost loved ones and what meant the most of you, what meant the most to you. And that's how when I use this and I look at that clock, I think of my dad. If I'm having a hard time fixing something or working on something, you know, I'll use this, or I'll look at the clock, and it's almost like my dad's sitting in his chair right next to me, calling me an idiot and saying, hand me that wrench, you know, the stuff that dads do when you're little kids. Anyway. Here's another angle of my shop. This is where I sit on my fat ass and do all my work. And I just saw my fat ass on camera, and I realized I really do have a big ass. So, yeah, I sit here. You know, I got my computer set up. I got a nice work table sitting there, and that's where I do my work. I spend most of my time down here working. Let's talk about the red door. So I just learned a lesson. Yeah, don't stand up and walk around in front of the camera because they'll see how gigantic your butt is. I got a big ass. Looks terrible on camera. I mean, I can't do anything about the face. Anyway, the red door. And that's this door right behind me. That actually goes to an old coal cellar, which I have converted to a painting room. And what I did, if you know what a coal cellar is, I have a very old house. It's over 120 years old. It's been completely remodeled. I don't know. It's my house. It's where I live. It's a nice house and it's paid for, so I'm happy. But the coal cellar, which there's really no other use for unless I want to make moonshine back there, which my wife won't let me. The coal cellar, it basically is just a concrete room where back in the day, for the coal furnace, the coal guy would come by and drop off your coal. They'd pour it into a chute that's on the outside wall, fill your coal cellar, and you have to shovel it into your furnace to keep your house warm. And I know people my age know what that is. Well, I never had to use one, but we always knew what it was. Anyway, it's old. It's old. So what I did is, it's empty now. Of course, we don't get coal anymore. I'm not, you know, I'm not a pilgrim. But the chute is still there, the actual chute door, and it was sealed. I unsealed it and I turned it into a ventilation unit. I bought an industrial fan and I put it in there. So now I go back in there, especially during the winter time, if I have something I have to paint, spray paint or use glue or anything that makes fumes. I will open this door, and it's great ventilation to go through here, so all the stinkiness goes outside. That's what's back there. Oh yeah, Carl lives back there too. I might explain why he's a little strange because of the paint fumes. Thought you might want to know. Now outside, I have another shop. It's on a kind of an enclosed porch type deal. That's where I have my saw for my woodworking because it makes a lot of sawdust, so that's definitely got to be outside. But it's kind of in an enclosed porch. Maybe one day I'll show you what I have out there. I actually designed a workstation. It's a table saw, a jigsaw, a disc sander, and a belt sander all in one. I built it myself, and I bought the power tools, and we fastened it to it. And I've been meaning to do a video about it, but people didn't show any interest in it, so I just haven't gotten around to it. But that's my second shop. And so I got the painting room, I got the regular shop where I spend most of my time, and I have the outside shop. Now, between my main shop right here, which I just cleaned, that's why we're doing the video, and the outside shop is my toy room. And it's about 15 by 15, and it is loaded with my Star Wars collection. I have done videos in the past showing off a little bit of it, some of it. I've done all of it before, but it just keeps changing. So, hey, you know what? Here's something. If you're interested in that kind of stuff and you want to see the rest, leave a comment what you want to see, and I'll show you what I got in the next video. I am going to do the pressure pot video. You can see the pressure pot sitting right over there. And I'm going to do that for my resin people. I'm going to do the pressure pot video again. It's going to sound a lot better because now I sort of know what I'm doing. A lot better than I did it the first time. Anyway, guys, I hope you're having a good weekend. We'll see what comes up and what else I come up with next. If I have time to do that pressure pot video this weekend, I will. I need to wait to get a couple orders to do some Clearcast. And that's when we're just going to go through it entirely. I'll do better than I did last time. I know I got like 180,000 views on that, which is good for me. But I want to do it better. and it's not necessarily for views. It's just because I watched that video again, and it was horrible. It was 3 years ago, and it was a really bad video. Plus, I've learned a lot since then. So I'm going to go ahead and end it, and I will catch you guys later with whatever I have coming up next. All right, bye.
It's just Bruce, he don't bite. Hello.